Is Big Rod joining or no?
He hasn't said anything.
Big Rod, are you joining? Yeah, probs. That's what Big Rod.
Okay. Birdman, he is not in yet, but we'll be starting shortly. Oh, actually, Snicky is in here. Yep, my bad.
Once. Oh boy, right off the bat.
It's good.
Pick 'em.
I don't think so,
Yes.
Snicky. The
No.
Celtics are at home.
Even money.
Alrighty, we should be ready to go. Alright, for all those joining us right now, we have the six-seeded Philadelphia 76ers facing off against the Boston Celtics in Boston. Game 1 on Friday night ended with the 76ers 50-43 victory over the Celtics in Boston, so we'll see how the Celtics react tonight. Big game, what are the keys for the Celtics to react after that tough loss at home on Friday?
Well, their biggest assignment tonight is going to be containing Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, as those two carried the load on Friday night in Game 1. Um, Obviously, they're not only their defense, but their offense were both very stellar, and the Celtics could not stop it. The Celtics need to try and get Jason Tatum some more open looks and get Kemba Walker more involved. The 76ers, you're just praying that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid come out and have the game of their life like they did on Friday night. Joel Embiid, especially with 8 blocks, put up a double-double.
Yeah, that
It'd
was
be
pretty.
big for the 76ers if they can come out of this up 2-0, heading back home. So Boston has to defend the home court here.
Yeah, I don't know if there'd be any chance if the Celtics go down 2-0 going to Philadelphia. That's pretty tough atmosphere. And tonight we'll have our third announcer, R. Hayes, joining us from the sidelines. He's going to be coming up to the broadcast booth tonight. R. Hayes, what are the keys for the 76ers to continue their success? R. Hayes?
Seems like R. Hayes still having some difficulties after last night's shenanigans. So we will continue.
All
And
right,
different
looks like
direction
R. Hayes will
underway
actually
here.
be joining us from the sideline rather than up in the broadcast booth tonight. Now, one of the mismatches on Friday was Kemba Walker guarding Ben Simmons. You would have liked to see Brad Stevens do a switch on that, but he decides not to. All right,
Yeah,
we have
I'll
the
be
tip
interested
off
how that
here.
plays out, and you'd expect Tobias Harris to have a lot better night than he did in Game 1, as he very badly struggled in Game 1.
And we are off from Boston. Celtics have the tip.
Game 2s are underway here this Sunday night.
Quick shot
Jason
out
Tatum
Tatum,
pulls
and he
up
makes it
mid-range
and
jumper
falls
and got
down
it.
even. Wow.
Still Embiid all
Tough
in his
shot.
face. Tatum knocks down the mid-range J from the baseline.
Tatum was the only player on the Celtics who really showed up on Friday. We'll see if he's going to have to carry the load once again.
Ben Simmons tries to match that mid-range jumper, and he does not get to go. Ben Simmons not known as a shooter.
Ooh, Tatum right through the D, and he cannot finish.
Josh Richardson with the open three, and he can't get it to go. But an offensive rebound. Oh, no. Jaylen Brown steals the rebound away from Ben Simmons.
Seems like there's a switch. Oh, Tobias Harris with a steal.
Oh.
Josh Richardson's going to take this one all the way, and he does.
And then Kemba Walker with a turnover there. Now we'd like to see for the Celtics, trying to get Kemba Walker going early.
You know, if the 76ers can have, like you said, if Tobias Harris or one other player could show up between Simmons and Embiid, it's going to be pretty hard to beat them if you're the Celtics.
There you saw a missed mid-range jumper from Kemba Walker.
And that is a miss.
Up there. Kemba Walker with a pull-up three, and that doesn't go down.
Wow, and it seems like we're looking at a defensive matchup so far. There's lots of misses to be in.
Ben Simmons switches, gets Jason Tatum on him.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Ben Simmons to the hoop and throws down a reverse two-handed slam to put the 76ers up by 2 here early in the first quarter.
Wow, we saw Ben Simmons go on a dunk fest in the fourth quarter of Friday's game. Oh, and he swats Kemba now as well.
Kemba Walker now 0 for 3 from the field with a turnover. And a great pass from Simmons to Embiid, who throws down a one-handed jam with authority, and a quick timeout here by the Celtics. We're down by 4 early with 3:38 left in the first quarter.
Oh, and Embiid's just showing him the follow-through to the Celtics crowd. Don't know what he's doing there. Now, if you're Brad Stevens here, is this coming through from Friday's game? Or how does he calm down the Celtics right now? Big game.
Well, obviously, you've seen Kemba Walker as he gets fouled there by Tobias Harris. Has taken 3 shots already. Has not made any, but they're trying to get Kemba Walker more involved in the offense, as they should be. Obviously, it has not worked out so far, but we'll see if they continue that trend or if they try to get Tatum or Jaylen Brown more involved or Gordon Hayward.
You know, it's weird. Tatum actually, he had the best game on Friday. However, Kemba Walker still went 3 for 14, so he's getting the shots up. And that's another miss by Kemba Walker. And he is ice cold, 0 for 4 with the turnover to start.
It looks like they're doubling right there. They're doubling. Ben Simmons leaves Joel Embiid open for 3, and he can't knock it down.
Wow,
Tatum finishes there.
Just continues to be the only one on the Celtics actually scoring. Wow, this matchup,
Simmons
though.
drives left-handed.
Yep. You know, you'd really like to see Brad Stevens talk about this, or at least get a double team on Ben Simmons if he's going to leave Kemba Walker on him.
Kemba with a quick pull-up deuce, and he doesn't get that to fall. Now 0 for 5 from the field for Kemba Walker here in this first quarter.
Oh, but he gets a steal.
A steal there by Kemba.
Oh,
and a great lob pass to Jason Tatum. And Tatum finishes with a nice slam.
As Tatum has all 6 points for the Celtics tonight.
Oh, and Ben Simmons.
Wow.
Mid-range jumper, and he gets that one to go.
You know, if Simmons is doing that in the playoffs, I don't know who's going to stop him.
Oh, Tatum to Theis, and Daniel Theis takes it to the hoop and can't finish, and can't get the board. Horford grabs it.
You know, the 76ers would like to see them up by a lot more, but this was a similar case on Friday as the 76ers were not shooting too good of a percentage to start, and neither were the Celtics. The Celtics took a 9-point lead at halftime. Oh, but Josh Richardson hits the 3.
Richardson hits the 3 there. As you saw a few possessions ago, the Boston Celtics decided to double team Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons has come down the last 2 times and has not been doubled.
Seems like Jaylen Brown's posted up, but this is going to go to Kemba. Wow, and he
And Kemba
finally
knocks
makes
down a
one.
3. He answers Richardson's 3 and hits his first bucket of the game. Now 1 for 6.
Here comes the pick and roll. Great pass by Simmons.
Up ahead, Tatum running, trying to get to the hoop on Al Horford. And he does, and he's fouled. He's going to the line to shoot 2.
Now, do you think having Al Horford start against Tatum is really the solution for Brett Brown? Because he's been known to be able to guard some tougher opponents on defense, but Tatum's becoming an all-around star, especially on the mid-range and three-point line. How does Al Horford stop that throughout the series?
Well, Al Horford's going to have to play some good defense, and he's known as a pretty good interior defender. The switching that the 76ers are going to do, Al Horford is just going to have to play excellent here, especially when he's on the floor with Embiid, as Marcus Smart tips that ball out of bounds. Oh, no, he tips it off a Thibault, and it's Boston ball here.
Wow,
With
interesting call.
22.9 seconds left in the first quarter. Did not see that one, but obviously Marcus Smart with a great defensive play was able to tip it off Thibault.
Seems like Wanamaker's going to let the clock run until he can get a post up for Tatum.
Tatum
7
with
seconds.
Korkmaz on him, has the mismatch.
Oh, wow, and he misses
he can't
it.
finish.
Korkmaz for the half-court shot. No good.
Can't get it to go.
And that first quarter ends 13-11 with Philadelphia having the lead. We'll be back soon. All right, and we are back in Boston as the Philadelphia 76ers are leading the Celtics 13-11 to start the second quarter. And Embiid is dribbling the ball up here. Big game. This has been an interesting narrative as Embiid is starting the second quarter as well, as he's been playing some heavy minutes so far in this series.
Yeah, and obviously Embiid started off game 1 with a monster defensive opening, had 5 blocks in the first quarter, has not been as big of a defensive weapon here in game 2, but has still been out there and scoring the ball. Him and Simmons have put in a few buckets here, and obviously they have a 3-point lead at the start of the second quarter here.
You know, the 76ers are probably taking this game lightly then if they still haven't even shown Embiid's offense so far to start. Should feel pretty good about this one.
Tatum with the missed jumper there. Thibault with the board, and he brings it up.
Oh, we got Alec Burks in the post. He takes the fade away, cannot hit.
Robert Williams has Korkmaz down the post. We'll see if Wanamaker gets it to him, and he does. Oh, and a nice turnaround right-handed hook shot. Beautiful over Korkmaz, and he knocks it down.
You know, Robert Williams was one of those key players off the bench on Friday as Brad Wanamaker and Robert Williams had 2 great games off the bench. That was not enough for the Celtics. We'll see if Robert Williams can continue that tonight. Oh, and Enes Kanter swats him.
And as Kanter gets up and blocks the rookie Thibault out of Washington. And obviously, Thibault is not shown very much here in game 2 to continue playing, as he has a turnover. A missed shot in there gets blocked.
Yeah, Thibault has always been known as more of a defensive presence, but the 76ers like to see him turn into more a 3D type guy for them. Oh, Shake Milton's going to take almost a half-court shot. It doesn't even touch the net. Wow.
An air ball there as TD Garden is on their feet chanting air ball.
Tough one for the rookie there.
We'll see if Boston can capitalize on that miss and try to take the lead here.
Seems like you'd like to see Enes Kanter down the paint. And Wanamaker
drives in. Followed by Shake Milton, and he's going to line to shoot 2.
The Celtics could take the lead here, and they do. Shake Milton off the pick and roll. Oh, great pass to Embiid, but Embiid hits the side of the backboard.
And now the Celtics are in. Marcus Smart brings it down. He kicks it to the corner. Open three by Tatum. Can't knock it in.
Wow. That Embiid shot just very questionable that hit the side of the backboard earlier.
Now
they're going to post him up again.
Tatum on him.
Oh, he misses the layup.
That time either. Marcus Smart takes a tough layup and can't get that to go. Embiid with another board.
What a pass to Mike Scott, and he finishes with the slam.
'76ers back up one here, halfway through the second quarter.
And as you can see, this is very similar to Friday's game one, as the Celtics may not be shooting the best right now, yet they're winning this game by one. Embiid has almost played this whole second quarter as well. He's going to need a rest soon. Oh, but he gets a rebound. He finally
with the board
finishes.
And got it.
And there's that timeout by the Celtics.
Boston.
Now, big game. Are we going to see Brett Brown bring in Ben Simmons to run the offense here while Joel Embiid gets a rest?
I would believe so.
And we do.
And I believe he did, yes. And Tobias Harris back in. Looks like all the starters back in other than Joel Embiid and an illegal screen there by Daniel Tice. And that'll be 76ers ball. Not a great possession right there out of the timeout by Boston. Oh, and Simmons is hacked right there by Kemba Walker on the shot, and Ben Simmons would be on the line to shoot two.
You know, Ben Simmons has really been judged not just for his jump shot, but as well for his free throw percentage, as it's not really improved since coming to the NBA. And there's a miss as we talk about it. And he makes the second.
Well, Tice tries to drive, gets to Jaylen Brown in the corner.
Tough
Jaylen Brown
jumper.
takes a tough pull-up, too. Doesn't get to go, and Simmons will bring up the ball for the 76ers, looking to extend this lead.
Wow, and you look at the rebound game there. 76ers have 13 rebounds to the Celtics 8. Philadelphia seems like they should be dominating this game, yet they're only up by 2. Wow.
Oh, and a tough runner there by Ben Simmons over Tyson. Gets it to go. Give the 76ers a 4-point lead.
Don't know how he finished, and he gets a steal.
Simmons.
We might see a special dunk here, and no, he's got finished in Kemba's defense, and it's good.
76ers lead is now expanded up to 6 here with 1:15 left in this first half.
Oh, Al Horford switch. Oh, no, they're going to switch again with Tobias Harris onto Kemba Walker. Al Horford on Jaylen Brown. We'll see if he takes advantage. He cannot.
Can't finish.
Tobias Harris down the lane. It is a huge slam for an 8-point lead for the 76ers. We're starting to hear some boos here out of TD Garden.
Boston has to be disappointed in their last few possessions. They have not gotten any good looks, have taken some difficult shots, and have had a couple turnovers as Kemba drives, and he can't finish the layup.
And swatted.
Blocked by Horford.
And one! It is good.
Lord.
Wow, the 76ers ridiculed all season for not playing well during the regular season, yet they've come out strong against the Boston Celtics here in the first round.
And Richardson puts it in to make this an 11-point lead here for the 76ers. And it seems to be about an 8-0 to 10-0 run here in the last minute and a half for the 76ers. A nice spin there by Kemba Walker, who can't finish yet again in a miserable first half here for Kemba Walker as the 76ers look to expand on their double-digit lead.
Wow, we thought Tobias Harris was having a tough game in game one of this series on Friday, but I don't know. Kemba might be having a worse game now, big game.
Well, especially the 76ers were able to work off of that poor game by Tobias Harris as he pulls up with a deep three and can't get to fall. And the 76ers will take an 11-point lead in the halftime. Obviously, with Tobias Harris's poor game in game one, the 76ers were still able to win. If you're the Celtics and Kemba Walker's having another bad game, but especially here in this first half, and Boston is down 11, and that's one of the keys of why they're down 11. They're going to have to make some changes here at halftime to try and get this game back within reach.
All right, and now to our halftime stats for the 76ers and Celtics. 76ers are shooting 48% with 28 points, while the Celtics shooting 27%, only 17 points. 76ers also have 16 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Do you think the key has been the rebounding and the defense from the 76ers big game?
I would have to say so. As you see, Boston actually has more assists right now than the 76ers, but is down 11, which speaks a lot of facts about the kind of shots that the 76ers are getting in isolation play, and it also shows in the rebounding stats of 6 rebounds over Boston that they're getting possible second chance points, and the Boston Celtics are missing more shots. Obviously, shooting 27% too for Boston at home, that cannot happen.
All right, and we're going to have the second half for you very soon.
It'll be interesting to see at halftime if Brad Stevens continue to tell Kemba Walker to take shots, or if he's going to try and get Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum for more looks.
We shall see how the second half pans out as 76ers lead 28-17 over the Celtics to start the half.
Embiid with a post hook there over Kemba Walker on the mismatch, able to finish, put the 76ers up by 13.
Big game. If there's a deficit that the Celtics can't come out of in this game, what do you think that would be if the 76ers can get a lead here? Even larger than what they already have.
I'd say the magic number right now for the 76ers is probably 17 points, which 4 points away here in this third quarter, make it 2 points away in that Ben Simmons layup. And I would say right now that the Boston Celtics are in major danger zone right now. At home, about to go down 2-0. They're going to need a spurt of offense and some great defense here.
Yeah, I don't really know. The Celtics are going to recover from this series. Down 2-0 going into Philadelphia, that's going to be hard enough. Oh, Gordon Hayward takes a 3. No good. He's been really inactive as well as Jaylen Brown. Just nothing's going. And this could be good for a floater for Tobias Harris.
And the lead is extended to 17 here. Boston has not scored in their out of this half, and this goes back into the first half as they have missed on their last 8 shot attempts. As Gordon Hayward knocks down a 3 there, matching my words to cut the lead back to 14.
Yeah, I believe big game. You might be right about that. I think it was 19-17 late in the third quarter, and now look at the score. Tobias Harris with a little
in the corner.
Oh, Al Horford, and he drains the 3. Wow.
And another timeout here by Boston as a 3 by Hayward to give him a little momentum to cut the lead to 14 is matched by Al Horford and the 76ers.
Oh, and it looks like we're actually going to be calling that too. Yep, good call.
Boston has brought in their bench very early here in the second half. obviously showing Brad Stevens believes in his bench to try and make a run here since his offense could not.
Tatum, fadeaway, no good.
Embiid
Embiid
for
hits a
three, and he
three.
gets it.
Wow. Everything going right for the 76ers.
Tatum drives here with Embiid on him. Takes out to Wanamaker, waiting for a screen from Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter now with the ball. It's Jaylen Brown in the corner. Jaylen Brown
Wow,
drives
swatted
and is
by Shake
blocked.
Milton.
And a 24-second violation as the Boston Celtics continue to just struggle on offense.
You know, big game. Is this coming over from last year's? They were up 1-0 on the 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks, and remember when Paul Pierce said it was over, and they lost the next 4 games. We might be looking at a tough playoff stretch for them, as they might go down 2-0 here, and probably will.
Yeah, this is, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you cannot be happy losing back-to-back games at home in a very tough place to win on the road, and the 76ers are making it look easy here. Up 21 now, and the Boston Celtics are shooting 25% from the field. Absolutely unacceptable, especially at home.
We'll see if the Celtics can at least get some momentum going into Game 3 of this series. Enes Kanter's going to take a deep three. Wow, rings out. I don't think I've heard the Celtics fans boo this much in a long time. Wow.
Oh, and a tough fadeaway there. I believe that's Alec Burks, and it was. Marcus Smart on a post fade there. Oh, and he sinks it. Marcus Smart with a nice little turnaround jumper there. Cuts the lead to 19, and Brett Brown calls the timeout for the 76ers here. Probably get some subs in. Not too worried about the score at this point.
Yeah, if there's really any chance in this one, the Celtics are going to have to cut this lead somehow to 10-12 by the end of the quarter. Double team on Embiid. He's not passing it, and he still finishes it through the contact. Wow. You know, big game, as we're looking at some of our viewers' brackets, it seemed like this one was pretty much 50-50 split between the 76ers and Celtics, but most people had it going to 5. Only a few had the 76ers in 3 or in 4. Do you think that's where we're headed in?
Well, I can say this: it's not looking good for Boston right now. Going into Philadelphia, another tough place to play is there. Oh, and a great block there by Grant Williams, a rookie out of Tennessee. This series is basically wrapped up unless the Celtics make some major changes. And going forward, the 76ers have to be pretty thrilled here at the end of this third quarter, up big, and going to be going up 2-0 in the series if there's not a huge comeback by the Boston Celtics.
Great point there, big game. As many analysts actually picked the Celtics even being the one to upset the Bucks this season, as they believe they had too many stars on the lineup to be ignored. Having Tatum, Kemba Walker, and Jaylen Brown, they thought they had the star power to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, but it looks like they can't even handle the 2-star power of the 76ers. And Grant Williams.
Nice. You saw
Well,
there Embiid with multiple offensive boards was able to put in a layup, but 5 seconds left, and the Celtics were able to cash in on a deep pass down the court to Grant Williams, who knocks down a deep deuce. 19-point lead for the 76ers heading into this fourth.
and here's our State Farm assist of the game. Glenn Robinson passes over for the and one to put the 76ers up 10 right before halftime in the second quarter. All right, looks like Brad Stevens going to let his starting lineup, other than Robert Williams and Marcus Smart, to run for a bit and see if they can make a little comeback.
Oh, Kemba Walker with a nice free throw line jumper knocks it down. I believe that was Kemba Walker's second made shot tonight.
Yeah, he's truly had a tough night, whether it's from the three-point line, mid-range, or in the paint.
Oh, Simmons loses the ball there. Gordon Hayward with the steal. Oh, offensive board by Tyson. He can't finish underneath the hoop.
Seems like the Celtics just can't catch a break. Any shot in the paint or outside, just, oh, wow. And Tobias Harris, little pull-up mid-range, drains it.
As you see there on the screen, back-to-back quarters for the Boston Celtics under double-digit points. Kemba Walker with another mid-range jumper and hits it.
Wow, and there is Kemba Walker's stats on the day. 3 for 12. That does not even include his turnovers on the day. Just two abysmal performances. You know, when he was in Charlotte, even during their playoff performances when they were a lower seed, big game, did he even have a performance as bad as these two?
I cannot recall one this bad, and obviously there Al Horford got fouled and hit the layup for a 3-point opportunity at a 3-point play. But to back to the point of Kemba Walker has hit his last two shots. He's 2 for 2 in the fourth quarter, and being 3 for 12, which means he was 1 for 10 in the first three quarters. And as your star point guard, you cannot have that. And I think that is a big factor in why the Boston Celtics are losing this game and going to be down 2-0 in the series.
Wow, Tatum there misses a deep two. Wow, Josh Richardson, tough layup. 76ers have just been hitting all those tough shots in the paint today.
Well, and another factor to look at here, it seems as if Simmons had a pretty good first half, but since then, Embiid is put in a couple buckets, but neither one of those guys have really had a monster game like they did in Game 1, which is even more of a worry if you're a Boston Celtics fan.
And a good pass by Simmons right to Tobias Harris for the dunk.
Tatum with the floater and can't get it to go.
Oh, Simmons right over Kemba Walker, making it known he should not be guarding him in this series. But Kemba comes right back.
Kemba now 3 for 3 in this fourth quarter.
You know, where was this Kemba the rest of the game?
Tice rotates late.
That'll be his second foul on the day. First free throw is good.
The first. Richardson up to 11 points on the day here. Make it 12.
Him and Tobias Harris have really had a great day today, big game. Do you think they can repeat that in Game 3 at home?
Tobias Harris has rebounded very well from his Game 1 performance. And Josh Richardson has had another nice game. He had a pretty good game in Game 1 as well. And at this point, I would not be shocked if either one of those guys has a good game in Game 3. Boston's defense just does not seem to be able to stop anyone. Their switches have brought them bad matchups. They're allowing open shots, open layups. Can't happen. A deep three there. It does not hit the rim. Another 24-second violation this time by the 76ers.
It seems like all the starters are out for the 76ers. Yeah, Josh Richardson has been subbed out, so the full bench lineup for both teams, it seems.
And a fan just brought up a great point. He wants to know, where's Taco Fall here for the Boston Celtics to try and match up with Embiid. Surprising that they have not gone to him in this series.
Wow, and with percentages like that, 33%, you'd like to see Brad Stevens try something new, maybe get a more larger paint presence like Taco Falls. And there's
Mike
another
Scott is
foul.
fouled down low.
Mike Scott cannot finish the first free throw. Here comes the second. And it's good. Some Celtics cannot get a shot up here. Oh, and no good.
Under a minute left now here in the opening game two of the Sunday night.
Looks like Mike
76ers up
Scott
by
wants a post up.
25.
Yeah, unbelievable blowout that we just witnessed.
Something you don't see in the playoffs very often, especially a home team getting blown out.
I mean, after the Pacers blew out the Heat yesterday, I don't think anything's surprising us at this point. And you wouldn't even call the game in Toronto on Friday as well. Was no close game in itself.
It looks like the 76ers will be satisfied with a 23-point victory here in Game 2 to put the 76ers up 2-0 in this series. Best of 5. One game from elimination for the Boston Celtics. How will they respond in Game 3? Brad Stevens will have to do some calculations and some research to see how he can try and get the Celtics back in this series.
Yeah, great point, big game. I really don't know how they're going to switch this one around, as the Celtics had a small opportunity to win in Game 1, and it seems they repeated their performance, if not even worse, from Friday today. And as we have the final from Boston, the Philadelphia 76ers win 59-36. And we're going to head over to our post-game show on the box score. We go to the Celtics first, big game. Kemba Walker, as we said, 1 for 10 through 3 quarters, and then goes 3 for 3 in the fourth quarter to make him 4 for 13. Jason Tatum, disappointing performance as well. Big game, what do you see on the Celtics side?
Well, you see something similar that we saw in Game 1. Their top two performers, 4 for 13 from Kemba Walker and 3 of 10 from Jason Tatum. You can't have poor shooting nights when you're a superstar in this league in the playoffs. And if you do, you're going to need somebody to help you out and back you up. And obviously, no Celtics players felt the need to score to the ball tonight as they struggled shooting. And Jaylen Brown, like, they're 0 for 4, a minus 22 in the plus-minus department. Things that cannot happen at home, and they cannot happen in the playoffs at home.
You know, if we're just looking at the starting lineup for the Celtics, minus 22, Jaylen Brown. Minus 25, Gordon Hayward. And then we go up to Tatum, minus 16, Kemba Walker, minus 25. And let's go to Daniel Tice, minus 24. Unbelievable. Now on the 76ers side, look at the even scoring. Josh Richardson and Tobias Harris are keys in this one. We know Embiid and Simmons will probably show up. Embiid with a nice double-double. And look at Simmons, 15, 5, 5, 1 steal, 1 block. That's what you expect out of him. And look at the plus-minuses for this starting lineup. Great job. Everyone over plus 15. How do you react to this one, big game?
Well, something I see that really stands out with the 76ers is Joel Embiid had 8 blocks in Game 1, and I believe they had 12 as a team. I do not believe they had over 5 blocks here in Game 2, and they won by an even larger amount than they did in Game 1. So obviously their defense was still pretty stellar, allowing the Boston Celtics to shoot around, 30%. But their interior paint was not as good as it was in Game 1, blocks-wise, and they still came out victorious here.
And big game, if we had to choose a player of the game, who are you picking for this one?
You got to go with Ben Simmons here. Ben Simmons puts up a nice 15, 5 and 5 on 7 of 8 shooting. A pretty impressive all-around performance for Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid with another double-double. He's had those in back-to-back games. So Ben Simmons, your player of the game here in Game 2.
All right, big game. Thanks for that great commentary. As we're going to be moving on to LA as they take on the 7-seeded Mavericks in LA. Final here from Boston, 59-36. 76ers take a 2-0 lead. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thanks for joining.